Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to share with you the latest version of my guide for Germany. A while ago I made a step-by-step guide on how to reform the Roman Empire. The feedback from you guys was amazing, so I decided to implement the same format for this guide. This means that the video will be fully unedited, and I will try to cover in detail everything I am doing. This will likely be a long video, so I will include chapters to make navigating it a bit easier. If you think you would prefer a shorter, edited version, you can find it in the description of this video, together with the research and focus priorities in chronological order. Now, as you probably already know, I make spreadsheets for all of my guides, with the most important steps to take in order to succeed. These spreadsheets are exclusive to the Tier 2 membership of my channel, but more importantly, I will be checking them myself while going through this run, so there might be some moments in which I stop to check what to do. I apologize in advance about that. But that's all for the introduction, so let's start our run with the initial setup for Germany. And by the way, I will take this chance to briefly show you what I'm talking about when I talk about the spreadsheets. Okay, so this is an example of a spreadsheet, and I find it very easy to follow with this checklist of what to do. So I find this to be very convenient when I try again a run after a while and I forget the steps. I can easily find them here, and it's actually easier than rewatching my own video. Okay, so first of all, let's go with the researches. Go for the usual ones. As I said, you can find all of them in the description of the video as well. And here I like range improvements. And let's pick the first focus as well. Okay, then 3 civilian factories. So now we're going to build 4 civilian factories in Rhineland and Mosselland. Yeah, sorry, we are going to build infrastructures and then 4 civilian factories in these 2 provinces here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I prefer building both infrastructures first, so we don't waste... because they speed up the construction. Okay, then we have 3 civilian factories, and we are going to build full infrastructures and civilian factories, 4 of them in each of these 2 provinces. Now, I'm a bit in trouble here because my German, of course, is not great, so I hope not many of you speak German, otherwise this guide will be tough for you, for your ears in particular. But in Rhineland and Mosselland, we are going to build infrastructures and 4 civilian factories. Next, production. So infantry equipment to 10, that's okay. Then I have support equipment to 4, artillery to 3. 4, 3. We don't want to build light tanks. Instead, we are going to build anti-air. A couple. And then we have trucks at 6. Fighters 1 and CAS 1. The fighter is this one and the CAS is this one. We don't want to build the medium airframe one. And then with the last factory, we are going to produce some trains. So, civilian train 1. Okay, so this is all for the production, initial production. And now in terms of the navy, you can do whatever you want. You don't have to follow what I'm doing. In fact, probably you better not follow exactly what I'm doing. I'm sure you can find better strategies, but I will show you the easiest strategy. This doesn't require any additional management, so we're just going to build everything, and we're going to lower the priority of the boats that consume chromium or require chromium. So we put them at the bottom, and then we do something like this, and we're not going to worry about the navy for quite a while now. Okay, then we need to recruit the infantry, the maximum amount of infantry that we can recruit at the moment, which is 22. Then we need to make some adjustments to our armies. So first of all, I will split the infantry, the mountaineers, the motorized, and the tanks. But then I actually want an additional infantry army, so that we have 5 armies in here. I assign all of them to a marshal. The marshal will be Rommel, but we need to promote him and we cannot do it yet, so we'll do it a bit later. And then we are also going to change the mountaineers into infantry, regular infantry. We're not going to use mountaineers for this run. And then I'm going to assign the generals. I wrote them down on my spreadsheet, so let me check it. So generals, we want Wilhelm R. Damn, the names will be bad. Okay, where is William? Okay, this guy. Then Albert K, Erwin V. Albert K, Erwin V. Where is Erwin? That's the wrong Erwin. Erwin V, this guy here. Okay, here we want Heinz G. And then Walter K for the last one. Let's find Walter K. There we go. Okay, so these are the guys, and then we're going to assign a fullback line to the entire army just so that they don't suffer from attrition, so they are spread around a little bit. Okay, everything should be fine here. Then we're also going to gather all of our planes in Berlin. We're going to start training all of them as well. By shift clicking here, you train them all to regular, and then they will automatically stop training. And we're also going to gather the entire navy in here and assign an admiral to the navy as well. First one, I don't care about the navy. So if you're a fan of the navy, you can entirely create this part of my guide. I will show you what to do with the navy, the bare minimum you need to do with the navy to succeed. Okay, next, we want to buy some rubber. We're going to buy it from British Malaya, so we don't use convoys. And that's done. Okay, as soon as our planes merge, we're going to send them to Ethiopia, so we can already start, or better, to Italy. So we can already start sending volunteers. We are not going to send an army, though. Let me explain why. Since this is the detailed version of this video, you may wonder, why don't we actually send volunteers? That's because Italy and Ethiopia have this weird war, in which if Italy doesn't win fast enough, Ethiopia will create a government in exile. Ethiopia will be annexed by Italy, but the war will not officially be over. And if we send them volunteers, they will remain stuck in there, basically forever, until the beginning of World War II will not be able to reclaim those divisions. So I prefer not to do it. Air volunteers are fine, because we can recall them at any time. So we are just going to send air volunteers to Ethiopia. Okay, then this is done. The initial setup is done. So at this point I will make a save. Sure, setup done. We can keep the speed at 4 for most of this run, because the early game with Germany is a bit slow. There isn't that much to do. We're also going to train the armies, but I believe most of them are already trained. And then we're going to keep an eye on the planes. Okay, the planes are ready. What I do at this point usually is I merge all of them, so they are easier to manage. And then Ethiopia doesn't actually have fighters, so we're just going to send a couple of tactical bombers to Ethiopia. I will send them here. And then I will assign one of them to this area, one of them to this area, because I don't want to micromanage them too much. So in this way, we don't have to worry about what they do. They will already do more or less the most useful thing. Okay, and Italy is losing already. Okay, the next thing we need to do is to pick the silent workhorse at 150 political power. So I will need to keep an eye on that. Let me also update my spreadsheet. Okay, that's fine. And let's continue. Actually, Italy's not doing that bad. Ideally, we want to get around 10 air experience from this thing. By the way, the other planes should be training as well, right? They stop training? Why would you stop training? Okay, as we get the first focus, we also get enough political power for the silent workhorse. Where is it? Here. Okay, and then we continue with the focus. Now, in this case, we go for the extra research slot. So we go through this path here. We start with the 4-year plan. And then the next call is to pick the fascist demagogue, which will be Goebbels. Again, we need 150 political power, so we'll need to wait a little bit longer. Okay, range improvements is nice. Next, support weapons up, which is this one. Next, we go mechanical computing. Well, actually, Italy is doing very well. So they don't even need those bombers there anymore. You know, there is always some RNG. It looks like Italy will actually win this war in time, maybe? Or maybe is it already too late? It may already be too late. Okay. 150 political powers. As I said, we're going to pick our friend Joseph Goebbels. That's not our friend. We hate Goebbels. We hate bad things. I don't want to be cancelled. Of course. Now, this guy, I will send him here, and we send the infantry back to the first army. This is just my thing. You don't need to do it, but okay. Let me check what to do next. So, as we pick the fascist demagogue, we should also be able to design our F1 and C1. So let's go on and do that. To do that, we are going to upgrade the planes we already have, because that's much cheaper, I found, than designing new ones. So do something like this, and then we start with this one. We create a variant. Here we are going to use our F2 design. So we are going to use these, and we are going to use a defense turret. And the weight is perfect. We're going to call it F1. And don't forget to use the auto upgrade box. This is actually very convenient in several situations. It allows you to save a lot of air experience too. I'm not sure we will have enough air experience for the C2 because we farmed a little bit less than usual in Ethiopia, but we'll see. Okay, so the C2, in this case, we are going for... We don't want these, we want these instead. That would be perfect. Yes, that's perfect, okay. And this will be our C1 design. Again, upgrade box. Yeah, everything looks perfect. And of course, we are going to start producing them instead of the old ones. Nice. Okay, next we're waiting for the civil war in Spain to start. And then we are going to send some volunteers to Spain. Meanwhile, as you get new divisions, you can start assigning them and always train them as well. So Ethiopia has capitulated. Is Italy still at war? Okay, yeah, they didn't finish the war fast enough. So as you can see, Ethiopia fell and it's annexed by Italy. But if you click on Italy, Italy is still at war with Ethiopia. Okay, let's continue with the focuses. We can send back our bombers now. Okay, we go for concentrated industry 1. Okay, a couple of things here. First of all, in many of my videos I say that dispersed industry is better. I'm still overall agreeing with myself. I think dispersed industry is overall a safer choice. But if you're fairly consistent with what you produce, and if you get later in the game, concentrated industry is actually better. So recently, I'm using a lot more concentrated industry. The difference is not that big in either way, but I like concentrated industry a little bit more. The other thing that I want to say about this choice here is, the more expert players among you will say that this 100% research bonus is wasted on a 1936 research, and it would be better used on one of the more advanced ones. The only way to do that is not to pick 4-year plans, the 4-year plan yet, and to go for something else after Greenland. A good choice may be the naval rearmament, because it's only 35 days. The main difference is that we will start the war 35 days later. And to be honest, I prefer to start the war 35 days earlier and have a more or less wasted research bonus. That's why I go for this. If you want to use these researches on these technologies, then I suggest you pick naval rearmament, rearmament before you go for the 4-year plan. Okay, all of that being said, let's go for concentrated. And that's done. And let's wait for Spain. Okay, meanwhile, I will also merge these again. I will train them again. Now, the civil war in Spain always starts, but when is a bit RNG related. So ideally for us, it starts earlier rather than later. It's taking a while, to be honest. Let's go for radio up. Okay, there we go. We got the civil war in Spain. Now, before the civil war in Spain, we're going to force deploy all of our divisions by clicking here. This will hopefully increase by a little bit the number of units we can send to Spain. Let's check. By the way, the other thing, the civil war in Spain is entirely up to you, but nationally Spain always wins. So if you help nationally Spain, the war will end faster. What I usually do is I help the democratic Spain instead. In this way, I can extend the war a bit longer. I can make it last longer, which means we will farm more army experience and air experience. Keep in mind that the only purpose we have with the civil war in Spain and later on in Japan is to farm army and air experience. We don't care about anything else. Another advantage of helping the democratic Spain is that you can seize their gold reserves through a message, which is quite convenient. While a disadvantage is that they usually lose the war, and you may lose the divisions you send them if you're not very careful. We don't care very much about that, so it's fine. Even if we lose these divisions, we don't care. So we want 3 infantry divisions to form a new army. We're going to assign Heinz to this army. We already used him earlier. Yeah, this guy. Because I think he's the best general we have available, so we want to level him up as much as possible. And we're going to send him with air volunteers to Spain. Okay, and then we're also going to send some fighters and let's send them there, and some bombers. Okay, let me check the spreadsheet to make sure we didn't have to do anything else. Yeah, it's okay. We just need to wait for them to get there, and then we'll do a couple more things. Okay. Meanwhile, we keep going with our focuses. Okay, our divisions arrived in Spain. Now we need to work on them a little bit. So first of all, this is a good time to promote Rommel, make him a marshal, and assign him to these volunteers in Spain. And then we're also going to increase the demotorization priority to maximum. We're also going to assign them traits, Panzer Expert, which is of course completely useless at the moment, but would be useful later. We go for the offensive doctrine, we go for charismatic, organization first. We cannot pick it yet, but as soon as we can, we'll pick it. And then you can do more or less whatever you want. I usually start attacking them from here. Keep in mind that we don't want to win this war. If you wanted to win with democratic Spain, you could, but we actually want nationalist Spain to win. So we just want to make the war a bit longer, farm some army experience for ourselves. And then I usually assign planes to them just because it's the easiest thing to do. I don't need to micromanage them anymore. If you want to make them go there faster, you can click here. And there we go. Okay, now we should have enough political power. No, what was that? Command power for this last trade. Okay. Let's get them some nice planning bonus, and then we start attacking. Meanwhile, we go for construction up. And then we'll take care of the MIO in a little bit. And we can start the offensive with them. Now, we don't need to micromanage them that much, but you can if you prefer. It's entirely up to you what you do in the civil war in Spain. Okay, next. Actually a bit late, but we want to pick war economy. We could have done it a little bit earlier. That's fine. And we are also going to recruit 11 motorized divisions. That's because the civil war in Spain started a bit later, so I missed the political power. Okay, so 11 motorized. Now let's take care of the MIO. And by the way, I created a new folder in the members only Google Drive folder for the membership. Tier 2 membership still. Which also includes now the MIOs. And I use it myself because I often forget what to pick. So, okay, now I remember we're going to go for this one. And I usually go rank up to 5 of them or queue up 5 of them. Because after the 5th one, or better the 6th one, including the first one, you can pick a policy. So if we go for something like this, then we'll pick the other ones later. Okay, let me check what to do next. Okay, next we should get at some point 3 civilian factories, so we're waiting for that. And meanwhile, we can keep an eye on our volunteers in Spain. There we go, we got 3 civilian factories. First, we're going to pick tools up. Now, with the 3 civilian factories, what do? We build full military factories in Rhineland and Moselland. There we go. Then we build infrastructures and then military factories in Hessen and Westphalen. So, like these, full military factories. And then we build full military factories in Brandenburg, Hanover, Franken, Thuringen. Let's go on and do that. So, Brandenburg, Hanover, Franken, and Thuringen. We do not build infrastructure here, because by the time we start building these factories, we will have completed this focus, which will fully increase the infrastructures in all of those regions. So we don't need to waste constructions on them. Okay, next we're going to pick Army of France at 100 political power. So until then, we can just look at our volunteers. Ideally, with volunteers, you want to attack in regions with this malus, because you don't really want to push them. You just want them to attack for as long as possible, to farm trades and whatever. So attacking here is pretty convenient. And I can already see another very fun MIO to pick. Okay, this is the naval one. I don't care about the navy, so don't follow what I do here. Or not necessarily, I mean, if you have any better ideas, go for it. It's not going to be relevant for our strategy in any case. Okay, but I don't want you guys to stop attacking. Keep attacking. Okay, and we're almost at 100 political power. Okay, let's pick Army of France. We're also going to adjust the production a little bit. We're going to bring the support equipment to 5. And then we're going to bring the F1 to 6 and C1 to 5. F1 to 6, C1 to 5. Okay. And next we want to pick the Professional Officer Corps. For which we actually need 35 army experience. We're a bit late, so it might take us a little bit longer than usual. But let's see how it goes. With Army of France, we still farm it up quite quickly. Why am I not getting any air experience though? Because I don't have fighters in here. Okay, that's fine. Okay, 35 army experience. Let's pick the professional officer corps. Then we are going to pick the war industrialist when we get to 150 political power. So we have still quite a bit to wait for that. So keep assigning new divisions and training them. Okay, research-wise, we go for concentrated industry up. Go. Would be better to attack on a wider front, though. Slightly wider, at least. Something like this would be better. So let them get okay, extra research slot in terms of researches. We will adjust trade as we need to. From time to time you can stop them, give them back some planning bonus. You can also use this to speed it up. It's very cheap. Okay, motorized is fine. Research-wise, we're going to pick the interwar artillery and then the radio up. So interwar artillery, and basically immediately radio up. Okay. And I think we have the planning, so let's start attacking again. 150 political power, there we are. So we're going to pick the war industrialist. And as you can see, I'm very much military factories oriented here. So that's why we pick war economy and the war industrialist early on. In other strategies, you can go for more civilian factories earlier in the game. Many people suggest doing that. In my experience, this is the best strategy. You will see why. But this is basically the only strategy that allows us to have enough tanks by the beginning of World War II. Okay, what did I say I needed to do? I need to recruit another 25 infantry, and I believe we probably cannot do that. Let's try. Yeah, so only 6. So we are going to force deploy, and then we are going to recruit 25 infantry. So by force deploying, we can recruit more infantry. So 25 divisions, and that's fine. By the way, the main disadvantage of force deploying is that your divisions come up with less training, but you can just assign them to an army that is training, and they will actually gather back that training. In fact, you actually gain army experience by doing that, so even slightly better, I would say, depending on the point of view. Okay, next we're waiting for 3 military factories, so until we get 3 military factories we can continue. Okay, we go for rubber processing. And I want to actually change something here. Let's make them push a little bit more like this. Okay, extra research slot, we pick oil processing. And in terms of focus, we go for the Anschluss. You should be able to pick it at this point, but if you cannot, force deploy divisions. And then you will definitely be able to pick it. Some more very fun MIOs to pick. I remember these ones without any need to check. It is like this, and then like this. So this tree, and then this tree. Okay. I'd like you to stop attacking me so I can get some planning, guys. Would be very nice. But well, just attack you. Let me just see one thing. Okay, no, everything is fine. Let's wait for the military factories, 3 military factories. There we go. We got 3 military factories. That's what we were waiting for. Now we are going to use them to increase the production of transport planes to 1. We're going to start making some transport planes. They will be very convenient for the low supply regions against the Soviet Union, against the UK too. They're pretty convenient. And then we bring the infantry equipment to 25. And the F1 to 50. Now, of course, these will be the priority. So this one is already assigned. The next ones will go to infantry equipment, and then they will all go to F1 while we do other stuff. Okay. This is done. Next page of my guide. And we need to wait for the Anschluss to happen now. Until then, we can focus on our volunteers. I believe we'll be able to send some more volunteers to Spain soon. Okay, the Anschluss is done, although not fully done yet. Meanwhile, we go for artillery up. In terms of focuses, we go for the German war economy, so we aim for this one. In terms of political power, we go for the refining concern. Go. Okay, now we wait for the Anschluss to happen. Yeah, it hasn't happened yet. We need to make some adjustments after it. But first we need to take care of these. Let me check quickly because I'm not sure. Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I have it. So this one first, then this ones, then these ones. Okay. Okay, now we get some new divisions after the Anschluss. Now it's time to make some adjustments. First of all, we're going to create a new theater in which we assign all of the new divisions we got, or to which we assign all of the new divisions. The new theater will be Walter M, the Marshal, and Wilhelm L, Defense. Okay, so Walter M and Wilhelm L. This guy. Okay, that's fine. We can train them. That's not the only thing we need to do, though. We're also going to decommission the Austrian infantry and the German mountaineers and cavalry. So we go here and we decommission the Austrian infantry, which is this one, and the German mountaineers and cavalry, which are these ones. And then we're going to change something in the occupation law. We're going to change the garrison template to the Austrian cavalry. And then the occupation law to local police force. And I believe that's all. Yeah. Okay, next we wait for ground support at 100 political power. All of those events were not very relevant for us. So. Okay, this is a nice message that you get when you help the democratic Spain. So by spending 25 political power, we're going to take these Spanish gold reserves, which allows us to get some free civilian factories. So that's very good. We're going to do it. We could send one more volunteer to Spain. We may want to do that. Let me see if I said to do that a bit later. Yeah, just a little bit later we're going to do that, okay. But you can do it now if you want. We're already struggling to advance here. Okay, 100 political power means we can pick the ground support advisor. Need to do that. And then we are waiting for Japan to start their war. For now, we're just going to wait. Make sure everybody's training. going to pick the medium tank and fuel refining 2. So medium tank, we go for Henschel. And then we're going to pick fuel refining 2. Okay. Let's continue. Civil war in Spain is going quite bad for democratic Spain. Sometimes we can push a lot more by this time of the game. Next, we are going for excavation 1 and 2. These ones are quite close to each other. Let's do both. Okay, excavation 2. Okay, let's see what fun MIO we have to pick. Okay, this one is easy at least. So for fighters, we will go for something like this. We also need to change this to the most updated version. And let's wait for Japan. There we go. Japan started the war. Also, we pick this focus. Now we can send some volunteers to Japan. Before we do that, however, we're going to force deploy again to increase the number of volunteers we can send. So we force deploy everything we can deploy. And then we check how many volunteers we can send to Japan. It's going to be 5. Okay, so we take them from our infantry. And then we check how many extra volunteers we can send to Spain. Oh, it's going to be 5. Okay, nice. So let's send a couple more to Spain as well. So for the volunteers that we are sending to Japan, we are going to use Eric V, which is this guy. For Spain, we don't need another general, of course. So we're going to send these ones to Spain, and we're going to send these ones plus air volunteers to Japan. Okay, and then we're also going to send fighters and bombers to Japan. Okay, we're a bit low on air experience, to be honest, in this run. Our fighters and CAS are not achieving that much. Maybe we should set them on strategic bombing, but it's okay. If you can optimize it a little bit better, feel free to do so. Okay, the ones in Spain are quite convenient because we are really struggling in Spain. So let's see how we can rearrange them a little bit. Let's say something like this, and we try to take this stuff here. I want to hope that you're using trains to go there. Okay. The one in Japan, we don't need to micromanage them at all. We just go for something like this. We tell them to attack. That's okay. But we can assign them a marshal as well. Anyone is fine. I use this one usually, and then I increase the motorization priority to maximum. As soon as we get both CAS and fighters here, we can assign them to the army. So again, we don't need to remember about them. Perfect. And as soon as we have the planning bonus, we can also speed it up. We start this offensive. Let's go back to Spain. Also give them some planning bonus if we can get it. And I will attack here. Okay, 3 civilian factories. Now let me check. Actually, I forgot about army logistics at 100 political power. So we're going to pick army logistics. And then on 3 civilian factories, we want to build a full military factories -1 in all 100% provinces. So let me show you why and how. So first of all, we check the 100% provinces. We build full military factories in all of them by shift clicking. And then you right click once in each province. And you build 1 synthetic refinery in each 100% province. Okay, that should be it. And make sure to build the ones that were already being built first, like these ones, for example. So something like this. And then we are going to adjust the trade. Okay. Next, we want army regrouping at 100 political power. Until then, we can keep checking our volunteers in Spain. Now we're doing a bit better, definitely. The extra help was very welcome in here. Let's push them a bit more. Okay, German war economy means it's time for the next focus, which will be demand Sudetenland. And then we keep adjusting trade as needed, of course. Oh, I just have a question for you guys. Why aren't you getting that? Okay, we got the excavation researches, meaning we can go for improved infantry equipment and radio up. This one goes to improved infantry equipment. This one goes to radio up. Nice. I believe we need to take this place for the supply hub. Okay, we got 100 political power, so let's go for army regrouping. At this point, I'm usually able to take both air spirits, but in this run we are a bit low on air experience, so we are going to pick this one first, and we'll pick the other one later. Let's keep training them. These guys should be fine, and let's see what happens in Japan. Nothing happens. That's cool. We're fine with that. Okay, let me check what's next. Motorization drive and design new tanks. So the next thing we need to do is when we finish this research. So for now, we can focus on the civil war in Spain.
Angetreten. Angetreten.
Okay, after Sudetenland we go for the eastern claims. This one. It's perfect. Let's give a look to the guys in Japan. They are doing fine. They're doing fine. But I think you guys can now fully push that place. Okay. Then I said we wait for the research. We still have some time. I believe in this game we're a bit low on air experience, but we're doing very well with army experience. So that's fine. Oh, we really cannot push them here. Okay. Now we lost Madrid, which is not great, of course. Let's see if we can get Madrid back.
Ausrücken!
The German Führer and Chancellor and the British Prime Minister have had a further meeting today.
Ausrücken!
And let's see, this part of the run is a bit annoying because you need to keep paying attention to two armies in two different places. But that's okay. Okay, we can give bombers to Yugoslavia. Let's see if we can reclaim Madrid. Probably not. Madrid was also... yeah, okay. There is no malice there. Now this is the part where the civil war in Spain is more or less going to shit. Which means soon we may have to try to save these divisions or lose them. Okay, we want the improved small airframe. Well, a little bit better. Okay, we got the medium tank, we got the Eastern claims. Now we go for the fate of Czechoslovakia. So we go down this path. In terms of researches, before the tank, we also need these 2 researches, so a little bit longer. But we're going to pick the support weapons up. This one. Okay. And, well, no, this is an important one, so let me check my documents here. Okay, so 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we go for this one first. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like this. Okay.
Bereit!
All good here. Symmetric radar is good. We need 1 more. But meanwhile, we're going to pick computing up. I don't think we're going to get Madrid back. Okay, now, well, let's get this last research too, so we don't worry about them anymore. Logistics company, infantry equipment up. So, logistics company. And then infantry equip up. Okay, research-wise, we are done. Of course, we start producing the new artillery, but then there is something more important to do at this point. So, we want the motorization drive, which is a replacement for professional officer corps. It's a bit of a shame, but I think it's worth it. It's worth it having professional officer corps for the extra army experience gain. I believe this should be tested, but I believe it's worth it. And then we go motorization drive to reduce the cost of designing the new templates. You will see soon. I didn't exactly test this, so if you want to test it and pick motorization drive from the beginning and see if it's better than switching, you can do that and let me know. Okay, wait, what did I say? Then we need to design the new tanks. Okay. So we want the basic medium tank. We're going to use the usual design for Germany. Well, for most of my countries, actually. For most of the countries. So in terms of modules, this is what we are going to use. And we tick this too. Now, the only question is what to do in terms of engine and armor. If you want a speed of 8 kilometers per hour, you want to increase the armor to 4. In this way, by the time we are done with Doctrines and everything else, MIOs and so on, by the time the war starts, this will be 8 kilometers per hour. Now, in World War II, you could also use slightly faster tanks, if you prefer. So, in that case, I would suggest not changing the armor at all, leaving it at 0, which means you will have a bit less breakthrough and a bit more speed. But the point is, I'm going to switch to mechanized later, and mechanized max speed is 8 kilometers per hour, so any extra speed will be a waste. So that's why I go for something like this, which means we stick to 8 kilometers per hour. And then I call this one my T1. Okay, so we can save it. We can start producing it. Oh no, wait a second. Maybe we don't produce it yet. Oh yeah, we do. We do produce it, but of course we produce it. We also make the template first. So let's do that. We're going to change our Panzer Division template. We're going to replace these shitty light tanks with medium tanks. Here we stick to motorized for now. Support companies are fine for now, and here we use a mobile or motorized artillery to get to a combat width of 35 very cheaply. And that's it. I also like to use this icon though. I'm not sure this is the best match, to be honest. I like this one more. Okay, and then I also like to make it an elite division, so they will have priorities on supplies and whatever. Okay, now we can produce them. So we reduce infantry equipment and F1 to 10. And then we increase the production, we start the production of T1, and we bring it to, I believe, 75, but let me check, to 75, exactly. Then we're going to adjust the trade a little bit, because we are going to need less rubber now, and more tungsten. Okay, perfect. Okay, next we'll either get a message about submarines or something about free civilian factories, but meanwhile we can continue. Let me check what's happening in Japan. So let's give them a new offensive order. Planning bonus. Let's make them attack. And here, can we get something done here? No, I think things are going quite bad in Spain. Now, ideally, we want to find a place where we can retreat to avoid losing these divisions. Place which may be Cadiz or Almeria. Malaga is not good. I tried the last time, but Malaga is too important. So until Malaga falls, the war is not going to be over, which means all of the divisions get destroyed.
Unter Beschuss. Achtung! Los, ausrücken! Los, ausrücken!
It's okay, always remember that their purpose here is just to get us some very nice army experience, and we're getting a lot. So we are happy with whatever is happening here. Except getting more MIOs. We're never happy with MIOs. Okay. And then this one. Okay.
Los, los, los!
Yeah, let's go for a first fullback line, like here. We should be getting free civilian factories quite soon, yeah. Okay, there we go. Free civilian factories. Now, on free civilian factories, we are going to build... Okay, this is a bit tricky. Infrastructures in all of the 80% provinces, but only... Actually, not all of them. Only the ones with more than... or with 2 or more slots empty. Now, why did I write it like that? Because... it's not always the same. It depends a bit on what Austria does. So in this case, for example, we have this one, which is good. So infrastructures here, 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 here. Not here, not here. Yes, here. Not here, and not there, because we don't have enough slots. So these ones in this run, but it's not always the same. So, and then... full military factories and 1 refinery in all of these provinces. So pay attention a little bit, but it's these ones, -1. Okay, and then which other ones did we do? Only this one, right? Only this one, yeah. This one, -1, and 1 refinery in there too. Okay. And then we're also going to create an agency. Let's adjust the trade. Okay, chromium. This means the submarines are done. And at this... not the submarines, the boats are done. At this point, we reduce the production because we don't want to... Okay, we don't want to import, to import chromium. So instead, we're going to start building submarines. Just as many as possible. I usually create like 2 or 3 so that they don't ask me anymore. Infinite amount, I mean 2 or 3 lines of production or whatever. Okay, and everything else is good. Then as soon as we get the agency, we're going to replace Goebbels with the elusive gentleman. This guy here. But that's for later. For now, let's see what happens to our poor guys in Spain. Logistics company. Go for the engineer company up. Okay. We go for engines 3. Okay, we got the agency. Now we are going to replace Goebbels with the elusive gentleman, if I can find him. Here it is. Okay. And next we are going to spy the Soviet Union as soon as we get our first spy. Okay, here always set up Slovakia as a puppet state. This is very important because you get extra compliance in the areas that you annex. So this is always the best. And in terms of focuses, now we are going for synthetic rubber. So down this path.
Vorwärts, Männer!
Yeah, we're not going to invest in Turkey. Okay, here we're a bit in trouble, so let's fall back a little bit more, maybe to this area here. Unless we feel that we could help them a little bit more. I don't know, it depends on how much we want to save these divisions at this point and how much we want army experience. I am more for the safer option in this case. Actually, I will go for full safe option. I'm going to retreat to this area here. This should be the safest. Okay, first spy. Oh, nice. We got seducers. That's very good. And we start immediately spying on the Soviet Union. We're also going to force deploy all of our troops to add additional volunteers if we can. So let's wait, we don't have anything to force deploy. Did I miss something? Yeah, I did miss something. Okay. Nothing bad, not too big of a deal, but I missed one check in my list. A bit earlier, we should have picked the Blitzkrieg theorist. This doesn't change much for now, so no problem. But we also need to recruit 8 tank and 15 defensive units. So 8 tank and 15 defensive, which is these ones. Actually, we're also going to make these check for templates now. They are basically fine, but these ones are called defensive, and we're going to recruit what did I say? 15 of them. It sucks that I missed it. I didn't see this one. It should be fine. It shouldn't affect anything too much. It wasn't that long ago anyway. So templates check standard, defensive, panzer and motorized. Let's check the templates, but they should be fine. This one is okay. We are actually going to add the support anti-air to this one. Panzer are fine for now. Alpini, we're not going to use them, so we can put them down here. The cavalry doesn't matter, and defensive is fine the way it is for now. Okay, and then I said to recruit everything, but I think everything is already sorry, to train everything, but I think everything is already trained, unless yeah, that's the other thing we need to do. Change cavalry into tank, so that's from here. We need to change these ones into panzer divisions, And then we're going to change all of these divisions here into defensive divisions, and we're going to train them.
Angetreten.
Okay, now we can continue. I mean, we'll not be able to send extra volunteers to Japan. Okay, that means we'll have a little bit less army experience. Meaning probably we need to fight a little bit more with them to compensate for that. And why wouldn't you use trains?
Ausrücken. Befehle.
Okay, but now it's really a bad situation. Back here,
Ausrücken.
if you can. Okay, second spy. Send the second spy also to the Soviet Union. Okay, cool. Liquidization, whatever. We go to adjust the trade at this point because we probably don't need as much rubber anymore. Then we go for synthetic rubber and we check the spy network, but it's still a bit early. Will we be able to save these guys? I wonder. Maybe not. They're in big trouble. Okay, fuel refining 3.
Vorwärts, Männer.
Ooh, they are attempting a naval invasion here. That's not good.
Angetreten. Suchen
Not
Deckung.
have been the best choice. We have nowhere to retreat, guys. Let's go here if we can.
Unter Beschuss.
Things are not looking good for our troops in Spain. We actually need to hope that Spain loses fast enough for us to save ourselves. Okay, let me check one thing. The spy network, okay, it's at 57 and we get synthetic rubber. Okay, then it's fine. So on the synthetic rubber focus, we're going to stop importing rubber entirely because we don't need it anymore. And then we're going to start the first collaboration government in the Soviet Union. Always remember to automatically repeat so you get a notification when it's done, and then switch to quiet internetwork so that your spies will not be caught while you prepare the collaboration government. Okay, let me check here. That's fine, and we go for Army Innovations 2, so to this one. We start from here, of course. After that, I will also force deploy now all of the divisions. Oh, but here I pressed 2 by mistake. Okay.
Befehle.
How many did I make so far? Let's see. Tanks, we're fine.
Angetreten.
And these ones, we need only one more. Okay. I messed up everything about my defensive army. Okay, it's fine. Of course, it's not a big problem. Let's train them. Let's train these guys too. But let me also see. Well, Spain, it's not the case to send more volunteers, but I think we can send some more to Japan, possibly. Yeah, one more to Japan. So let's do it.
Bereit.
And also, well, they are pushing already quite well, so that's fine. Okay, let's merge them, maybe rearrange them slightly here. For something like these. And let's do
Angetreten.
this. Oh, I didn't see what happened to my troops in Spain. I hope they are fine. If not, of course, if they die, if you lose them, which is totally fine, you just recruit another 4 or whatever.
Achtung!
The amount you lost. And nothing happens. Again, the important thing is getting the army experience. That's what we are really going to need. Improve rubber processing. Okay.
Befehle.
Give them some planning bonus. How many? How many? All of them. Oh, I'm so happy. Not in a very good shape, but they all survived, which is fantastic.
Angetreten.
Now we want Heinz to be back on our tanks. Let's see if he got anything good. Well, the tactic will give him later. He did level up once. He has pretty good traits, so we're happy.
Greift weiter an.
Let's go with these guys and let's get improved oil processing and concentrated industry up. I feel like this guide seems a bit difficult because we're doing many things, but actually we're not doing that much. I mean, these volunteer things, they pretty much go on by themselves. You don't need to do anything. Okay, next we should be getting 3 civilian factories at some point, so we're going to wait for that. Meanwhile, now we only have 1 war to focus on. I find it much easier. Right, the 3 civilian factories may be a little bit later because, yeah, they will be later for sure. Because we actually have a bit more things being built. A bit more refineries. That's fine. So this means that we got the army innovation focus first. I maybe switch this one. Let me write something on the notes here. Might be later, at least if you're following the spreadsheet, you know. It might activate a bit later. So army innovation focus is what's happening here. We are going to pick Erwin Rommel as our advisor here. Then we're going to upgrade the T1, our tank, with the MIO, I mean, and I want it to be T1, not fucking Panzer. So please don't change my name, stupid game. And no. Yeah, here. T1, okay, T1 upgraded. Then we're going to design the flame tanks. Yeah, sorry, light. So then flamethrowers. Then we're going for fuel drums. And here I make a little bit of a change to my usual design. My usual design has the dozer blade here. In this case, we are going full fuel drums. We're going flame tank, if you let me pick it. Nice. Going for this one. We are going for these two. And we want the engine and armor to be at 0. So exactly as they are now. Good. Let me check, but they should be the same, exactly, yeah. 7.1. This will end up being 8.1 in the end. And this will be 8 in the end. And then we're going to start producing some flame tanks. Specifically, we want 4 factories on them, and we're going to take them from our tanks. So something like this. Production to 4, add flame tank and logistics to tank design. Okay, so template. So we go here and we add the logistics company and the medium flame tank company to our panzer divisions. Done. France. Okay, I don't want to miss anything this time, but it looks like I did everything. On oil research is done, the next thing, or on free civilian factories. So for now we can continue. We need to pick the focus. We go for the... No, we don't have to pick the focus, sorry. I mean, we have to pick the focus, but not a new one. We just go for Army Innovations 2. We continue down this path. Okay, let's go back to Japan. Or China. Actually advancing quite well in here. Now, one thing that I was wondering, and I think we may do it, is yeah, let's do it this time. You can also pick political loyalty here. Yeah, it's only 20 political power. It's definitely worth it. It will give us an extra 5% stability. And it is worth it. I think we should pick it earlier, actually. Let me change something in the spreadsheet. This is an even further up improvement to the guide. It's a very, very minor one, to be honest, but maybe convenient to have. So let me check a bit later where I say to okay. So when should we pick that? I think right after the professional officer corps, because we're not going to need the army experience much after that. So probably somewhere like this. After the war industrialist, maybe. Okay, nice. I'm happy that we added another further improvement while going through the run together. Very minor, huh? But the extra 5% stability means a little bit more factory output, so it will help.
Right.
It's better to have it than not to have it, let's say. Okay, we get the free civilian factories now, so make sure everybody's training as usual. Oh, by the way, we can assign Rommel here now. We can do it a bit later too. But okay, now that we get free civilian factories, we're going to build military factories in all of the 80% provinces. So some of the provinces we left behind earlier, like this one, and this one, we can now build military factories in there. Without infrastructures, because it wouldn't be worth it. And then we're going for infrastructures and then military factories in these provinces here, which I will not attempt to read for my sake and your sake. And then full military factories in here. We don't build refineries anymore, we should have enough. So infrastructures and military factories in here. Okay, next we wait for these oil research focuses to finish. Oh, that's not mine. I can pick it. Okay, we are a bit spread, guys, here. But that's okay. Okay, this is the first oil research to be done. We go for survivability studies. We should get an encirclement here, which is nice. And this is the second oil research done. We go for heavy MG. But now we're going to switch from the refining concern to the industrial concern. Or better, the industrial concern. And I believe we are not ready to spy on... but soon. Soon we'll be able to spy on the Soviet Union again. So, of course, we're going to do it as soon as possible. Yeah, definitely before the fighters are ready. Okay.
Achtung!
Ah, that's a bit sad, but it's not the worst. So he's going to be forced into hiding. Hiding? Wait, why is it hiding? Oh, whatever. In any case, we are going to start spying on the Soviet Union again, and then we're going to prepare the second collaboration government a little bit later. It's totally fine. If he gets captured, that's worse, and you may need to delay the second collaboration government, but in this case, it's fine. Everything else is fine. We are waiting for our fighters, so we need to wait for 72 more days.
All right.
Okay, we go for tools up. And in terms of focuses, we go for the Molotov von Ribbentrop Pact. We don't want Italy. We absolutely don't want Italy. Italy sucks. Kidding, of course. But not so much. Engines 3. We go for constructions up. We go for logistics company up. We go for well, actually in my spreadsheet and in the description of the video it will say free from now on. It's actually free, but I would suggest going for artillery up. Ten more days, okay. Okay, we got everything we need for the planes. First of all, let's pick the radio up. By the way, when you find free means everything from now on it's free, huh? But then you find my suggestions as well. Okay, now we need to design the F2 and C2 as soon as possible, which is right now. And since we use the out-of-grade box, what we get is these very nice designs, which are very good because they are already more or less like we want them. So this is the fighter. We're going to change it slightly, but it's going to be cheaper than designing an entirely new one. But probably in this case, it's not going to be much cheaper because we're changing most of it, but usually it's cheaper. Okay, so this is the usual F2 design. It's actually cheaper anyway because it already has the MIO, which would be quite expensive to add. So F2 is here. And then for the C2, we're actually going to make a minor change to what I usually do. I also added these to the designs. You can find them on Discord. You can find them again in the dedicated folder for members. So we're going to call this low rubber because I would usually use a self-sealing fuel tank. But we're going to save on rubber because we don't have a lot of rubber with Germany. So we're going to make this design which has a slightly lower air defense, but still very good ground attack. So it's perfect. And we're going to add the MIO, of course. So this is the final design for CAS. And we're going to produce them, of course. F1 and, F2 and C2. We need to change the production priority. So we want the production of tanks to go down to 25. Also going to bring them up. Well, they can actually stay down here. Never mind. We're going to bring the production of F2 to all. So everything to F2. And then in my spreadsheet I wrote probably around 50. This is also a good check to make sure that we are doing fine with everything. It's 52, so it's perfectly fine. Then we're going to upgrade the T1 and flame tank designs. Let's do that. We don't want these ones. Okay, so yeah, but I want it to be T1. And the flame tank too. Flame tank, I don't care about the name. Okay. Then we're going to import 10 oil from the Soviets. Whoa, that's a bit too much. 10 is a lot, but I don't want to run out of fuel during the war. It's very important that we have plenty of fuel for our tanks, so better safe than sorry. And then we're going to adjust trade. Of course, we need to make some adjustments here. We will need some aluminum, some rubber, and some tungsten. Okay, next we're going to pick Doctrines, Tactic, and Spirit. So let's go on and pick them. The air doctrine, by the way, I forgot. I knew I would forget about it. Centralized control, not that it is particularly important, but we can pick it now. Let's pick as many doctrines as possible. Probably just a couple. For land doctrines, we'll be able to pick a lot more. Now, at this point, if you prefer superior firepower, you can go for superior firepower. But I think with Germany, it's actually better to stick to mobile warfare. And we get very, very cheap doctrines, which means we can pick a lot of them. It's actually amazing. Especially we can get to breakthrough, blitzkrieg, and then the breakthrough tactic very early on. So at this point we're also going to pick the preferred tactic, breakthrough, the maneuver warfare, and then if you have some extra one, also modern blitzkrieg, or whatever this is named. So this is ideal. This is what we want. If you have a bit less, it's fine. This is the most important one. Okay, and then I wrote to make the second collaboration government in Russia, but I'm not sure we are ready for it. Yeah, we're not ready for it. So maybe a bit later. Well, we'll do it as soon as possible. And then we need to prepare the armies a little bit. So we're not exactly done here yet. Let me write as soon as possible next to the second collab in the Soviet Union. Okay, so let's prepare our armies. Did I say to prepare the assignment? Yes, the assignments too. Okay, so this is important because this is the setup we will use for World War II. So we're going to send our regular infantry, the 1st infantry, to the border with Poland. Actually, let me bring the tanks and motorized here. Oh, I'm very happy that the tanks are fully trained, actually. That's not always the case. So very good. So we're going to assign the tanks like these. I use this reverse as an indication of where to send them. With a spearhead. Now, ideally, I want to go for something like this. To cut off this part of Poland to take Warsaw and Krakow in the same push, more or less. Let me design it a little bit better, though. I want that one. Okay, now it's better. And then I use the motorized divisions always to the same front. I assign them always to the same front as the tanks. They do a very, very good job at covering the front because tanks are very fast. The infantry cannot keep up with them. So with motorized, it's much easier to keep the front under control. In any case, we're going to assign another infantry army to this northern border of Poland. We're not going to use them to push, so we don't need to do anything with them. And then the last infantry, we're going to send that to France. The defensive infantry will not actually be used, but we are going to send them to the Netherlands just in case. Let's make sure that everybody is trained. Then what did I write? Assign traits. Okay, so let's see if we have some traits to assign. I believe so. Now this guy is level 4, so he cannot pick the tactic yet. But this guy is level 5, meaning he can pick breakthrough as his favorite tactic. I think that's about it for him. And that's it, because actually these are the only two we care about. Let's make sure that the motorization priority is to maximum. We want them to aggressively execute battle plans. Motorization priority to maximum for the defensive army too. And that's it. Okay, next we want to deploy all planes. Let me do that in here. We should have quite a lot of planes to deploy. Okay. And we're going to train all the planes for now. Actually, we can already prepare 800 planes, fighters. Okay, 800 of them will be defending as soon as they deploy. This is a bit too much. 800, okay. 800 of them will be used for defense. The rest will be assisting our tanks. What I do not need is naval bombers. So these guys can go somewhere else. They will confuse me. And these ones will also go somewhere else. These are the transport planes. So I send them somewhere else. They will only do air supplies here. Actually, these are also transport planes. Okay. And everything else should be training. Okay, perfect. Everything is ready. Now we just need a couple more focuses and we're done. Ooh, we doing okay here, guys. You don't look too good in here. What's happening? Let's go out of this place. I don't know, the Japanese are doing some weird stuff. Which is not surprising at all somehow. Okay, Danzig or war. It's almost time for the war. It's almost time for some proper action. We have been preparing for a long time for this. But we are going to get some fun soon, I promise you, boys. Okay, so next, about 10 days before Danzig or war, we want to make some adjustments, some final adjustments before the war. But meanwhile, we can still stay here. Yes, yes, yes. Perfect. It's good that I remembered, because I usually forget. So it's time for the second collaboration government in the Soviet Union. Now there is one problem with these, and that's because it says, yeah, okay, why can it not do it? So it says that he cannot do it for some reason. I think it's a bug, but hopefully now it's fixed. We will need to keep an eye on that because it may still be bugged. Okay, we wait until like 60 days. Okay, now let's make the last adjustments. Which are, if you were training your tanks, somehow my tanks are already trained, which is kind of weird to be honest. But if you were training them, you would stop training them at this point. And our planes, if any of the planes is still training, you stop training them. Now it's time to assign them actually. So mission and then all of them to the tanks, except for these 800 which are going to stay here and defend this region. Maybe slightly better to split them into two and send them here and here. Okay, well, let's do it. They should have a better coverage of the region in this way. But yeah, other than that, it's fine. And then we also need to upgrade the T1 and the flame tank for the last time. But its name, it's not Panzer 3E, it's T1. And by the way, as I said, as you can see, by the time the war starts, the max speed and of both is about 8 kilometers per hour, so as it should be. Perfect. Okay, everything is done. So now we wait for World War II. Then we make a save. Because, we're going to start World War II. It's going to happen very soon. We actually don't care about these guys anymore. This company is very, very welcome. Go for infantry equip up. And there we go, Danziger War. This means World War II is about to start. Let's make a save. Now, in World War II, we are going to win the war, of course. There is no doubt about that. The only thing that can really go wrong is the naval invasion of the UK. That's the only thing that can mess up the strategy. But it's, to be honest, it's fairly unlikely. But our goal is also to keep the casualties as low as possible. So ideally, my goal is to keep the casualties around 50,000. Let's see what we can do, because there is some RNG involved, especially if the UK catches your navy during the naval invasion of the UK. Then there isn't much you can do about that, and you will lose some divisions. But if that doesn't happen, the goal is 50,000 casualties. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I also need to pick the next focus, but for that I need to be at work, so please give me my claim. Okay. Let's go. So we go for around Maginot. Now, at the beginning of World War II, we need to make some adjustments. First of all, in terms of production, we need to reduce the production of F2 to 20. Maybe we can afford 25 this time, because I think we may have a couple more refineries, but let's see. F2 to 20 and C2 to 15. Also, we want the trucks to be lower priority now, because if we are going to lock rubber, it's better to lock it on the trucks. We have more than enough trucks anyway. And then we're going to bring the production of T1 to 150. Then we're going to recruit 12 tanks and 24 defensive units. I also increased the reinforcements priority to higher. So 12 tanks, 24 defensive. Okay. Then we are going to claim Hungary. Justify war goal on Hungary. Whoa, what? Because we are not at war with the UK yet. Okay. Okay, just wait until the UK joins the war. And let me check something here. Okay, perfect. So we can buy these from Sweden. But another important thing to do... Okay, now we should be able to, by the way, justify quickly. Okay, that's perfect. So justify on Hungary, and then we're going to stop or forbid our navy and supplies to access all of the naval regions, including the ones that we will conquer, like France, Spain, Portugal. Because we really don't want to fight the Royal Navy, and there is no point in our supply convoys to be destroyed for nothing. So in this way we're also going to save some casualties. So we actually don't want anyone at sea during the war. Okay, now everything seems fine. Let's start the first push against Poland. Actually, I will make the save again because I don't want to do this setup again, just in case anything goes wrong. Wait, where is it? Yeah, here. Okay, let me just make sure that I didn't forget anything. This is totally fine. Okay. Claim Hungary, take Poland. I think we can go. Of course, Poland isn't much of an issue. You can micromanage your tanks if you want, but what I'm showing you here is that even if you don't, this strategy works perfectly. So that's more or less my goal in here. I feel like Poland maybe has slightly less divisions than usual. As I say, there is a little bit of RNG involved, so depending on how it goes, they may have more divisions, they may cause you a little bit more casualties. No, I actually want you to push there.
Ausrücken! Angetreten! Bereit!
It's going very well. I do not want you guys to push in here, so at this point it may be wise to stop the offensive. Okay, research-wise, support weapons up. Okay, and we got Danzig, that's perfect.
Angetreten!
Now we can start pushing here a bit more.
Angetreten!
Let's check the casualties. Okay, this is what I like to see. 1,173,000. Not bad, not bad. It's a good start. Sometimes Poland can cause you a little bit more. By a little bit more, I mean like 3,000-4,000. Okay, our volunteers are back. We're just going to assign them to the infantry. And I expect Poland to go down. Perfect. Perfectly timed. Let's pick artillery up. And let's start getting ready for the Netherlands. So we're going to send our tanks, of course. And then, as we did before, we're also going to send the motorized behind them. While with the main infantry, which was here... What happened to you? Did we get some casualties? No. We're going to send them to Hungary. We're going to use this infantry later to protect against Romania as well. As for the other infantry, it's not particularly needed at the moment, but we can send them here. Let's just make sure that everyone is using trains. Okay, in terms of planes, I believe everything is going fine. Very much so. And we don't really need extra supplies in France, so we can spare our planes for now. We're going to give Poland to the Soviet Union. I mean, they're half of Poland. We're going to pick basic armor protection.
Angetreten.
No,
Ausrücken.
use the freaking trains.
Achtung.
Use the freaking trains. Why do they stop using?
Angetreten.
No, what do you
Ausrücken.
mean? Don't we have enough trains? Yeah, we do. Okay, we got our claim on Hungary. So it's time to take Benelux and France and to claim Yugoslavia. So let's start our claim on Yugoslavia. We also need to wait a few more days for the focus on the Netherlands. We don't really need the planning bonus against the Netherlands, so. Now, technically, if you want to optimize what you're doing, it would be... yeah, you stop. It would be better to send all of these planes manually here and assign them to this region. But I cannot be bothered, so I will not do it.
Angetreten.
They are assigned to the army, but the problem is they only follow the army around when the army is actually fighting or pushing. So for now, they will not do it. This is okay. We can lock a little bit of rubber. Okay, focus completed. Now we go for my favorite focus. It's my favorite because I'm very, very good at reading it. This is Operation Weserübung. And meanwhile, by the way, we have a few more doctrines to pick. So let's pick them. And let's go. Netherlands time. Yeah, this is going to be fast. Okay.
Achtung.
Quite historical. Now we go for Belgium.
Angetreten.
So going to assign our motorized. Who doesn't have anything to do? You don't have anything to do. Yeah, that's fair enough, but you still stay there. Just the trade. Check the casualties, still 1000. Happy for now.
Achtung.
The tough part in terms of casualties comes a bit later in France, and then especially with the Balkans, usually get some casualties. We'll see. Let's wait for them to get in position and go. Focus-wise, we go for radio up.
Bereit.
Okay, let's go. And actually, I'm going to use a couple of... yeah, Luxembourg too.
Bereit.
Okay, Belgium is already down.
Bereit.
Now, we want to continue this push for France, so we go for something like this. We don't really want to push into the forts.
Bereit.
We want to continue pushing.
Greift weiter
And also
an.
give them some planning bonus. And we can start the offensive immediately. This is a part of the run in which we can get some casualties if we are a bit unlucky. But it's going quite well. Let's see if France goes down already. I mean, I see the message, but France is still there. Did France forget? Okay. Okay, France is down. Casualties check. Wow, we're still at 1,000. That's good. That's very good. So, do I see correctly? I don't see anyone here.
Ausrücken!
Now, the issue with France, and this is a bit annoying, is that they have these remaining forces, like here, and especially in Nice, they tend to have a lot of divisions. So you need to make a choice. If you send your motorized and infantry, you will get some casualties. If you send your tanks, you will waste some time, which would be better spent on Hungary and on Yugoslavia. So, yeah, you kind of need to make a choice here. And I think I will go for the no casualties, since it's going quite well for casualties at the moment. So we're going to send these tanks down to Nice. We're going to send the motorized here, and hopefully they will not have many divisions in here. And then we're going to prepare the infantry
Angetreten!
just for defense in case they attempt a naval invasion. So
Bereit!
not going to use this infantry. To be completely honest, we may use this one in Yugoslavia, but yeah, other than that we're fine.
Achtung!
In accordance with the powers conferred upon him by the resolution
Angetreten!
I'll also send a tank to this place
adjournment of the House will be proposed
manually.
Tuesday,
There we
Ausrücken!
go.
1st of May, with of course provision for earlier meeting if need be.
Angetreten!
To be considered during that week will
Bereit!
be proposed at the earliest opportunity.
Bereit! Ausrücken!
And in my name to record its approval of the steps taken and to declare its confidence in the new
Yeah, see, they have a lot of divisions here for sure, and they were sending more, but we stopped them fast enough.
Achtung!
Okay, and hopefully they don't have anyone in here. That's great. Now we can send our tanks to Hungary.
that we are in action at many points in Norway and in Holland.
Okay,
That we have to be prepared in the Mediterranean.
and let's import some more tungsten.
Bereit!
Okay, very good. This went smoothly. Again, this is not always the case. Sometimes they have more divisions in France, and you destroy them, of course, but they cause you a little bit more casualties. Our casualties are still at 1.
Befehle!
Let's prepare these guys to defend here. I also want to make sure about one thing. The Soviet Union collaboration government started. Okay, that's perfect. Let's continue. So next we are going to take Hungary and Denmark. And we're also going to send 1,000 fighters to the Channel. So the fighters which are here are now going here and here. And we also want to assign like 400 more. So we're going to take them from our main army here. And we're going to send them all to the Channel. The idea is that we will try to destroy entirely the air force of the Allies. We're actually going to keep a couple of them maybe to protect this region here. But other than that, they are going to the Channel.
Angetreten!
We can also declare war on Denmark. No, we cannot, because we don't have the focus yet. Never mind.
The road may be, but without victory, there is no survival. Let that be realized.
I keep the speed at 3 during the war, most of the time, because I don't want to fuck up. And with Germany, with the German tanks, the war is pretty fast even at 3. Of course, you can play it at higher speed, and that's fine. Where did we get the second 1,000? That's probably from planes. Okay, we got the claim on Yugoslavia, so we're going to claim Bulgaria. And then we are going to declare war on Denmark as well now. And in terms of focuses, we are going for Operation Tannenbaum. Now with Denmark, we will accept their surrender. It's a free puppet for us. We're happy with that.
All right.
I think we are... I don't care about Yugoslavia. I think we are ready for Hungary. So let's go.
Achtung!
Hungary shouldn't be much of an issue in terms of casualties and going down fast. We may have a little bit more issues with Yugoslavia. Hungary is down. Research-wise, we go for the improved medium tank. Okay, we cannot import from Sweden anymore, so we go from Portugal now.
All right.
Okay, let's prepare our armies for Yugoslavia. Oh, Italy got some of Yugoslavia. That's not always the case.
All right.
It's fine though. And we're going to use this army here for Romania.
All right.
Defensive army that we sent here, we're going to use it for Yugoslavia.
Angetreten.
Make sure that they are using the
Ausrücken.
trains to move
Angetreten.
them too. Now in here we may actually use some extra supplies, so let's send our transport planes.
Achtung.
I'll give them a staff office plan to make sure we have full planning bonus. And I think we can go for Yugoslavia. Check the checklist. Okay, as we go for Yugoslavia, we also go for the third upgrade in the agency. So we start getting upgrades for the third spy. Sorry, not the third upgrade, but the third spy. So we get this 3 and then this 2. And I see we can upgrade air doctrines as well. Let's do it.
Angetreten.
Okay, let's go. Now, Yugoslavia can be annoying, so let's see what happens. What happened first of all? What is that army? Which army is that? Motorized. Nice management of the front. Please go on the whole front. Yeah, see, we're struggling a little bit. Our casualties are increasing a bit.
Angetreten.
I love this encirclement, but there is a guy, I need to kill it. Okay, we got the claim on Bulgaria. We can wait a little bit more because we are not ready for Greece yet. not here, I would like you to continue. We can cut them off entirely. That would be nice.
Ausrücken!
Yeah, let's go.
Ausrücken!
We'll stop the offensive and manage it manually here.
Bereit! Ausrücken!
I think they should go down. Okay, perfect. Now let's see if we can get... and then, I mean, we already have the encirclement basically. It would be very nice to kill
Angetreten!
these divisions. Okay, very nice. I think we killed a lot of them. Now we can focus on Bulgaria because it's easier to take Romania from Bulgaria. So we are going for Bulgaria now.
Achtung!
Let's change the area where these guys bring their supplies to the Eastern Balkans. Eastern Balkans.
Angetreten!
Everything looks fine. Let's start claiming Greece. Now at this point, yes, I usually make some additional changes. So I go for extensive conscription because as you can see we are running a bit low on manpower. So we go for extensive conscription. And then this is optional, but I like to start assigning medals to my tanks. In particular, the supply consumption medal is pretty good, so it's a bit tedious to do. But you just go down and you keep giving them the supply consumption reduction. One medal each is better at first. This is going to be very beneficial later on too. Okay, that's it for now. We can assign them more later, of course. Okay, let's speed up to Bulgaria. Bulgaria shouldn't be a problem. Romania might be a problem. And then Greece might be a problem. Greece can actually be extremely annoying for some reason. Okay, let's keep going with more upgrades.
Bereit!
As soon as we get the organization, we go. We are low on supplies, by the way, because we're going very fast, so we are attacking before we even get the railways connected. That's okay, we can afford to do it. Let's go. As I said, Bulgaria is not much of a challenge.
Angetreten!
We can rush Varna and they should capitulate quite fast.
Bereit!
This should be the end. Nice.
Angetreten!
And now, yes, we want to go for Romania quite fast because they are not ready at all.
Angetreten!
But we also want these guys to help.
Angetreten!
We can start the offensive even if they are not in position yet. It's important to cross the river before they can organize their defenses. Something like this is perfect. Oh, we got some MIOs. Okay. In this case, it means we can get the policy. It's up to you, but before going to the Soviet Union, we know we'll be in low supplies areas. I like the extra reliability, so I usually go for this one. Now, upgrade, and we can also pick this one. I don't usually pick the last two because I don't like the extra production cost we get from here. We don't need any more reliability. And yeah, this one is nice, but not with the extra production cost. So these two we skip. And other than that, it's okay. Let's give a look to the situation here. Oh, they're still bombing me here. That's annoying. And how is it going here? It's going okay, but we're actually having higher casualties in terms of planes than usual. We might have to assign a few more planes to that area later. Meanwhile, we can actually give a few more planes to, in terms of costs, to our army.
Angetreten. Achtung!
Rushing Cluj might actually be enough to end the war, so let's see if we can do that.
Bereit! Ausrücken! Bereit! Bereit! Achtung! Bereit! Befehle!
Okay, we got the claim on Greece. We are slightly late with Romania, but everything is looking good other than that.
Angetreten!
Okay, we need to start spying on the Soviet Union again, of course. And as soon as Cluj goes down, we should be fine. This should be the end of Romania. As soon as they remember that they lost. Right? No? No, not yet. Okay. But they don't have anything. What else do I need to take?
Bereit!
Ah, this place.
Bereit! Befehle!
Well, this will be quite a delay.
Bereit!
Nah, maybe we don't even need to get that though. Let's
Angetreten!
keep going here.
Bereit!
Okay, nice.
Greif
Sneaky
weiter
Free France, what were you doing?
an. Angetreten!
Sending help to my enemies. Okay, we go for reintegrate Luxembourg and Alsace-Lorraine. Perfect pronunciation again. Of course, we get more of this stuff. And there is absolutely no one here.
Ausrücken!
We get rid of these French divisions as fast as possible. We can start claiming Spain. And we need to get ready for Greece as soon as possible. Casualties, 5,000. That's very good, guys. Huh? We are doing a great job in this run.
Angetreten!
Really a great job. Okay, let's get ready for Greece. Now, Greece is very annoying. It's very annoying mostly because we don't have space. It's a terrible terrain for tanks. So in Greece, I sometimes get way higher casualties than
Angetreten!
it would be fair to expect. It's okay. We'll see how it goes this time. Let's prepare our transport planes.
Bereit.
Also, we freed an army here. We're going to send them to Spain. One thing that I'm a bit worried about is the situation in terms of fighters is not going as well as I would like. So I'm going to reduce the amount of fighters we assign to our tanks a little bit. And we'll just send a couple more fighters to help in the channel. I mean, let me see. It's okay, but the trade is not as good as we like. Yeah, here too. It's okay, but it could be better.
Achtung.
We'll take care of that later. Let me check that the designs are fine, but I'm pretty sure they are. Yeah, everything is good, so.
Bereit.
We will get the trade we want with our fighters, don't worry. Okay, meanwhile, we got another defensive army. We are not going to use them in this war, and we don't care much about the general for this army. The tanks, if we get them in time, we may use them for this war.
Angetreten.
Oh,
Ausrücken.
faster, boys, faster, come on. We don't have time.
Befehle.
Yeah, that bombing us pretty hard, huh? Okay.
Achtung.
Let's use another stuff office plan. Then I will micromanage them a little bit in Greece. Just because I know Greece can otherwise be annoying. What we really want here is we want to rush Athens as fast as possible. Before they can send divisions there. Let's go for a mechanized.
Greift weiter an.
Yeah, no, let's go here. Because then France starts sending them help, which is also very annoying.
Bereit.
What are we doing here, boys? Go fast. You see, they were already retreating on their way to Athens. We don't want that.
Befehle.
I'll also send one. Yeah, I think we were fast enough to prevent that from happening.
Ausrücken. Befehle. Bereit.
Go for recon company up.
Achtung. Angetreten.
Yeah, actually, maybe wiser to go there first.
Befehle. Befehle.
Yeah, we might struggle a little bit here. Oh, that's unlucky. Okay, nice that Greece went down. Not so nice
Bereit.
that the French managed to send some divisions there. Okay, that's perfect though. Casualties, yeah, see though, Greece caused us the most casualties so far, but it went well. So nothing to worry about. It's time to prepare for Spain. Spain, by the way, is not going to count in terms of casualties because it's going to be a separate war with Spain. Okay, something like these. We want the motorized to follow. Make sure that they use...
Ausrücken.
Okay, trains. Doctrines. I don't think we can pick another one. Here we can. Okay, air superiority. This is going to help massively. So next we need to go for Spain, of course. The claim is almost done, and we're also going to start claiming Portugal.
Achtung!
Actually, in a little bit, because
Bereit.
right now I think it's a bit too early to claim Portugal.
Befehle.
As soon as we're in position.
Achtung!
Let's check the Soviet Union. So not enough. We go for improved armor protection. At this point it will say that your tank is outdated, but don't change the design yet, because we're going directly for the T2 tank.
Angetreten. Angetreten.
You know what, actually we can use, we can prepare one of the infantries for Switzerland. We're going for Switzerland a bit later, but we can get ready.
Bereit.
Better here? Definitely better here, okay. We just needed a bit more planes in there. We actually don't care much about what happens there.
Bereit.
Okay, let's start claiming Portugal.
Befehle. Bereit. Angetreten.
Our guy is sick. For how much longer is he sick? I
Befehle.
can never easily see this. There was a way, but I forgot here. Wounded for 74 days? That's quite a lot. Okay, you know what? In this case, it may be better to replace him temporarily, because it's quite a long time sick. Luckily, we have another very good general, so we don't care much.
Angetreten.
And this way we can give them a staff office plan. Okay, we're ready. Let's go for Spain. The first push against Spain can be tough, because of course they have a lot of... Yeah, also we cannot import from Portugal anymore. That's okay. They have forts and we're pushing in the mountains with tanks, so... Yeah, it's not ideal, as you can imagine. It's okay, we will lack resources for a little bit.
Suchen Deckung.
But these tanks are so amazing. Look at this. Look at this. This is insane. Pushing in the mountains against forts. We don't care. We don't. Absolutely don't care.
Los, los, los.
Strength between the British and German
And after the first push in the mountains, it's much, much easier.
a greater objective for the Germans in
Here we go for computing up.
to make evacuation from these beaches impossible
Ausrücken.
and to sink all these ships which were displayed.
I would really like you not to go up there.
Could there have been an objective of greater military importance and significance for the whole purpose of the war than this? They tried hard and they were beaten back.
Now our goal is ideally to capitulate Portugal before Spain, because Spain is in a different war.
The army away
And I would prefer not to call them against Portugal.
for any losses
This will help.
which they have inflicted. Sir, when we consider how much greater would be our advantage in defending the air of our islands against an overseas attack, I must say that I find in these factors sure basis.
Okay, we got the first push done. Now let's get ready for the second one.
I will pay my tribute to these.
So ideally we go for something like this.
The French army was very largely, for the time being,
Actually,
cast back
we can take this stuff.
and disturbed for with the onrush to a
Bereit.
2,000 of armored vehicles. May it not also be that the cause of civilization itself will be defended?
Oh, nice. We can pick another doctrine. Look at how far we are into the land doctrines, how early into in the game. This is quite amazing about Germany, especially if you go for
All the history of
mobile warfare.
such an opportunity.
Let's keep pushing.
The Knights of the Round Table.
So here the casualties are increasing a little bit, but as I said, nationally Spain is not going to matter because as we end the war with Spain, they will not count for the casualties at the end of the war. It's not part of the Allies' war. Next, we want...
These instruments of colossal and shattering power.
It's a bit early for these, but we want to start claiming and tagging several countries, meaning when I say tag in the description of the video as well, it means I justify on them, I declare war on them, but then we don't actually invade them. We just want them to be part of the peace conference.
Zeigt es ihnen!
So we're going to do that for Ireland, Iraq, Iran, Saudi Arabia. Just because we want them in the peace conference, and Norway as well.
Achtung!
It's optional, but it's extra stuff for us to get. And ideally, you could add more stuff to it as well. You could claim even more countries if you want them to be part of the peace conference. And it's just free stuff for you. We just stop with these ones because otherwise it's going to become too time consuming. It's my opinion, it's not worth it.
Ausrücken!
Okay, let's see here if we can quickly take this part of Spain.
Much faith has been reposed.
Angetreten!
Many valuable mining
Angetreten!
possession. The whole of the channel ports I need hand.
Bereit!
All the tragic
Ausrücken!
and we must inflict another blow to
Achtung! Ausrücken!
Yeah, that should be the last
that Herr Hitler.
yeah, upgrade. So we will get the spy next.
Bereit!
Laid Boulogne for a year
Bereit!
with his Dutch and his Grand Army.
Okay, now from now, no, we get for the anti-Comintern Comintern Pact.
Bereit!
There are certainly a great many more of them since the British expeditionary force returned.
Oh my god, so slow.
Myself full confidence that if all do their duty, if nothing is neglected, and if the best arrangements are made, as they are being made,
Bereit!
prove ourselves once more able to defend,
Okay, let's get ready for Portugal.
ride out the storm of war, and to outlive the menace of tyranny, if necessary for years, if necessary.
Bereit!
At any rate, that is what we are going to try to do. That is the resolve of His Majesty's government.
Okay, in terms of research, as we go for concentrated industry up.
British Empire and the French Republic.
Bereit!
And we're starting to get our tanks, that's very nice. So we're going to move one of the defensive, or one of the infantry armies back down here into the defensive theater.
Achtung!
While this other tank army will stay in the offensive theater.
Fight on the seas and over
Angetreten!
we shall fight.
Ausrücken!
And growing strength in the air, we shall defend our island, whatever the cost may be. Fight on the beaches,
Okay, I will start. Portugal doesn't usually have divisions, so we really don't need to wait much.
we shall never surrender.
Angetreten!
This is very nice. So we almost got all of the divisions we needed. These divisions we can prepare them for Switzerland because we are going to use this secondary tank army to take Switzerland.
On the seas, armed and guarded by the British,
And that's it.
carry out
Fully
struggle.
ready army. Nice.
God's good time.
Zeigt es ihnen! Ausrücken!
Guys can go there actually.
To the rescue and the liberation of the
Bereit! Greift weiter an! Ausrücken! Achtung!
Okay, Portugal is down. This is usually
Bereit!
very easy. And now we can take Spain from this side. they are not ready, we will just easily destroy them.
Bereit.
Okay, I will build more submarines.
Achtung!
Actually, another advantage of taking Spain in this way as a separate war is that they will give us their navy, which can be quite convenient. Okay, meanwhile we can tag Ireland. Continue with our tags with Iraq. We're going to leave our planes here for a little bit longer, but then very soon we're going to send them to the channel, all of them.
Achtung!
I think we can go here. They don't have divisions anyway.
Bereit.
I want to take Gibraltar as fast as possible. By the way, even including Spain, the casualties are incredibly low.
Befehle.
Oh, but we struggled in Gibraltar. Okay, this will be easier. Oh, Spain is down already, and they went down a bit faster than usual. So we take the navy from Spain, then we puppet them, we take the resource rights and the war reparations. And we're happy with that. Oh well, and now we can focus on Gibraltar. Okay, easy. And the casualties are back down at 8,000. It's quite impressive to be honest. Okay, now let's get ready for the UK. I would like to have Heinz back if he's fine. He's not fine yet. 20 days though, it's fine. He's gonna be fine for the invasion of the UK, so. Let's send them to Dunkirk. I will also send the motorized behind them. And I will also send the infantry behind them. Because we want these 3 armies to get to the UK, ideally. The secondary tank army can now use the other general. As they are getting ready for Switzerland. Now what we want to do is we want to take all of our fighters and we want to send them all to the channel. Let's make sure that we have everything assigned in terms of planes. Also, in terms of CAS, half of them can be assigned to the other army. So against Switzerland, we probably don't need fighters, but we will need some CAS. Oh, okay, now they're all assigned to the channel, but as you can see, guys, in the end, the F2 kicked in. And I believe the UK doesn't have much of an air force anymore.
Bereit.
Just make sure that they're using the trains. Now, what we need to do here, of course, is we need to unlock the channel. And we need to gather all of our navies. We may need to wait for 1 day for them to realize. Yeah, we want all of our navies in Dunkirk. Ideally, they will not be intercepted. There is a small chance that they are, but hopefully not. Okay, it's fine. Then we gather them together. I actually split them again in this way. And they will be ready to give us the naval superiority in the channel. By the way, we would already have it right now. But just in case, just to be safe, we're going to assign a spy to... Wait. Yeah, we're spying on the Soviet Union. By the way, we can make the collaboration government in the Soviet Union, so let's do that. I should have written it somewhere here. Okay, yeah, third spy to the UK and third collaboration government in the Soviet Union. So perfectly on time. Yeah, and this guy, we will send him to spy in the UK, which will make the invasion a little bit easier. It will also make the naval superiority a bit easier to achieve, although with this much air superiority, it's usually not an issue.
Angetreten.
Meanwhile, I will cancel the fallback line. The fallback line is only to make them go there a bit faster, and I will start planning the naval invasion. We send 3 here.
Achtung.
Of course, you shouldn't use tanks for naval invasions, but I don't care. 3 here.
Achtung.
3 here.
Bereit.
1 here. What do I mean I don't care? I want to have my tanks in there before anything else, so that they are less likely to be intercepted by the Royal Navy. So there is a reasoning behind sending the tanks first. But yeah, of course, for naval invasions in general, you would better use infantry and especially marines than tanks. I forgot, did we get the claim on Iraq already? Not yet, okay. We're a bit early with the invasion of the UK, so we still have to claim Iraq, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and Italy. It's quite a lot of stuff,
Angetreten.
but that's okay. In any case, here we need 21 days, so we can get a few more claims. Let's go for tools up. And by the way, I think we can design our T2. With the technology we just finished, we should be able to design the T2. Let me check. Yeah, we can design the T2. So engine 0, armor 14 for the T2. And we can make them from here. So this is basically already our T2 design. And if we go to 14 armor, we should get to the right speed. And yeah, that's also the maximum armor. By the way, armor is more or less useless on tanks, but armor ticks that you get by increasing the armor from here also increase the breakthrough quite significantly, especially thanks to the radio. So increasing the armor value here is not entirely useless. If you can afford it, if the reliability is good and the speed is good, then increasing the armor and the breakthrough is indeed a good idea. So let's do it, and let's replace our T1 with T2s. I believe we're almost ready. We are going to send these planes here, just so that they are ready for the invasion of the UK. Yeah, they don't have an air force anymore. Very sad for them, but they don't have an air force anymore. I will actually send a couple of them to defend here, since they don't have an air force anyway. And then I forgot if I got the claim or not. Oh, by the way, we can adjust the trade a little bit here. We need to adjust the trade. One good reason not to make improved medium tanks is that they cost extra resources. But we don't care, because after this war is over, we will never need resources ever again.
Angetreten.
Okay, everything is very much ready. We'll not be able to train to fully train these tanks though. So we may as well, well, a bit later we'll stop training them to invade Switzerland. Okay, let's tag Iraq and start claiming Iran. Okay, I will make a save now, because this is the invasion of the UK. Not only it's the only thing that can go wrong, but it's the only thing that can actually increase our casualties, which would be quite sad. So let's see if we are lucky or not. Now, first of all, let's see if we get the naval invasion. Easily.
Bereit.
Okay, then let's try it. And let's stop training these tanks because I will use them against Switzerland very soon. Okay, naval invasion time. Let's see how it goes. I really hope the Royal Navy is not around to stop us. They seem to be defending a little bit. Hopefully not too much. They are defending there too. But as long as you disembark with one army, you're fine. And that seems to be the case for us.
Angetreten. Befehle.
Yeah, we absolutely got it.
Zeigt es ihnen.
Now we can send over all of the divisions as fast as possible.
Bereit.
Where are the 24? These guys.
Angetreten.
Let's also do something with our fighters. So now we assign them back to him. And half of them can go to the other army, actually. So far, so good. Basically, no casualties. We still have a bit of risk while these guys reach the mainland. And then after they reach there, we are fine.
Bereit.
Meanwhile, let's start the offensive in the UK. Wow, they have a lot of divisions from Ethiopia. Interesting. I don't think that's going to help them much, though. And let's send the extra supplies as well.
Angetreten. Ausrücken.
Okay, this army is ready, so let's also start the war against Switzerland. Let's go with them. And everything seems to be going very, very smoothly.
Ausrücken.
Wow, they have a lot of divisions in here. I would love to encircle them. Okay, let's stop this offensive.
Bereit.
We're too fast. That's the main issue. I still need to claim Iran, Saudi Arabia, and Italy. So we're a bit too fast. Wait, let me check one thing. If the claim on Italy... Okay, 60 days. It's not that bad. Okay, then Italy we can do it at the same time as someone else, probably.
Angetreten.
Not ideal, but... technically we should stop supporting the naval invasion. Unless we...
Bereit.
I mean, if we want to avoid our fleet being destroyed by the Royal Navy. And here, let's just push a little bit more and then stop before we win the war. How is Switzerland going? You know, Switzerland can be very annoying. They have a lot of divisions.
Achtung. Achtung.
But it's going quite well, to be honest. If you get free military factories, extra military factories, I suggest you just build more tanks for now. We do luck resources though. Four more days, come on.
Angetreten.
Ah, these are casualties. This is sad. Or maybe it's Switzerland. Let's check. Who is causing us casualties now? It is the UK with the Navy.
Angetreten.
Of course, Switzerland is another bad place to fight. By the way, we also want Norway. So We already have the claim on Norway, and we don't need the puppet. We're happy with this. Okay.
Angetreten.
Let's start another offensive in the UK. Okay, we got the claim on Iran. Now, Italy, how long is Italy going to take? 10 days, but the problem is we really need to start this one against Saudi Arabia. 25 days. Well, we need to start it before the end of the war, so there is no point in claiming Italy. We need to wait for 25 more days for sure. Also, we need to pick our focus. Now, after the anti-Comintern, we go for air production until the end of the war. And then after the end of the war, we switch. But if you want, if you think you will be ready for the Soviet Union earlier, you can also immediately go for war with the USSR. It's up to you actually at this point, but I prefer to be a little bit safer because I want to go for Italy after the UK. I prefer the extra time before the Soviet Union.
Achtung.
But the UK is obviously screwed at this point. Let me just make sure that they don't capitulate yet, though. Please don't capitulate. Yee. Okay, stop a second. Stop. Everybody stops. We cool. We are cool. But let's stop. $10 days? That's a long time. Oh, we can only wait for now. Oh, damn Switzerland.
Bereit. Ausrücken.
Look at the amount of divisions that are stuck in there. Being absolutely murdered. Okay, we got free civilian factories, and with free civilian factories, we're going to build military factories everywhere in the 100% provinces. 80% too. Then we're going to build infrastructures at the border with the Soviet Union. So in this area here, we want full supplies to get through to the Soviet Union later on. So these guys, we really don't need them. But, okay. Yeah, we'll worry about them later.
Angetreten.
We just need Switzerland to go down. Then Switzerland is down. Okay, no problem. Now we can send these tanks back to train.
Angetreten.
The UK is ready. We just need the claim on Saudi Arabia and we're done. And by the way, guys, this will be a new record. An insanely good new record. And construction up. Is it here? Okay, come on, give me my claim. Yeah, well, that's okay. Just give me my claim. Done. So let's tag Saudi Arabia. Perfect. Let's justify Italy. This is optional, by the way, yeah? You could end the war earlier. And it's time to finish the war. Last check of the casualties, guys. Less than 15,000 casualties versus 2.4 million. This is my most impressive result yet in World War II. Of course, considering that we didn't just take France and the UK, but we took all of the Balkans, Spain and Portugal as well. So very, very impressive. I will save the game just as... where is it? Yeah, I usually make a save pre-conference. Just in case I mess up something in the conference.
Right.
Let's get it done. Let's get rid of the UK once and for all. What happened to my trade? Why can I not import more from the Soviet Union? Is it bugged? Let me fix it. Ah, okay, now it's working. Perfect. And I think we can actually go. Yeah, okay, no problem at all. Oh, I didn't check the final casualties, but I mean, they were 14,000 just before the end of the war, so absolutely amazing, guys. Now I will briefly show you what to do in the peace conference. This is an easy peace conference, actually. It's tedious, but it's easy. So we want to annex Luxembourg, and then we want to annex Danzig and this other province, Gdynia, Gdynia, whatever, because we can core this land, or actually they are already our cores. Everything else is not a core, so we are going to take the navy from everyone first. We like that. And then, as I said, it's easy, but it's tedious. And then we're going to puppet everyone and take resource rights and war reparations from everyone. Now, it's fairly simple, but it's very long, so this is unedited, so I cannot edit this out, but you can skip to the next chapter. I will call this chapter the Peace Conference, so you can skip directly to the next one, which will probably be the outro, since the tutorial is basically over. But yeah, meanwhile, I will do this. Yeah, this is very annoying because there should really be an option to puppet everyone and add war reparations to everyone. It would be so much better. One thing about the peace conference though that is important, so I hope you didn't skip this yet. Yugoslavia is annoying, they do some weird stuff, so I suggest you Balkanize them. So you split them, instead of puppeting Yugoslavia, you puppet all of the parts of Yugoslavia separately. We'll get to them soon. So one was Bosnia, we'll see the other one soon. Okay, Hungary, Australia, Canada, Iran, South Africa, Saudi Arabia, the British Raj. Croatia, yeah, this is part of Yugoslavia. Dutch East Indies, Montenegro. What is this, Serbia? I assume, no, maybe not, I don't know, whatever it is, it's fine. Bosnia. And these other guys here, okay, and we got rid of them. Okay, then we want to add resource rights to everyone. I mean, it's worth the effort of going through this very annoying peace conference, because we will get an insane amount of resources and factories and whatever. We'll never worry about it ever again in the game, same as for the Navy. Okay, and now we need to do it again for the war reparations. Suggest you do it in this order, because you need to click a little bit less if you don't misclick like I'm doing in this way. Still pretty click heavy, to be honest. Okay, and that should be all. Let's confirm. Okay, now the situation is the following. We took basically everything. We have a claim on Italy in 6 days, and we are going to start the war against Italy immediately. In any case, if you don't get the claim on Italy, or if you don't start the war in Italy, Italy is actually going to declare war on you, because they will get a claim on Greece. They maybe already have the claim on Greece. And they will attack Greece, even if it's... unless you invite them to the Axis. If you want to avoid that, you need to invite them into the Axis. If you do, then they will not attack Greece anymore. But otherwise, they will always attack Greece. So at this point, I usually prepare my armies to invade Italy. But this video is probably already very long. And I intend to continue this run in with the same format. Because if you want the edited version of these videos, there is already one. But actually I never continued into Barbarossa, and I intend to do it with this step-by-step guide format. So guys, this was quite impressive. I was pretty satisfied with this run. I think this was the best of all of the test runs that I had. Finishing with 14,000 casualties is absolutely amazing. So this was really, really satisfying to make. Guys, if you are enjoying the content on the channel, if you enjoy this type of format, please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Also, let me know in the comments. You know, comments boost the algorithm, so that also helps a lot. And of course, if you have any questions, if you're struggling with anything throughout this run or guide, please let me know. I will try to help you out. Do keep in mind that we also have a Discord community, Discord server that you can join. You can ask questions. Other users can also help you out. But yeah, I would say that's all for today's video. If you stayed with me until the end, well, thank you for watching. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.